Oh my god, I don't know how to click apparently. Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. The goat passed through the door. Then, after receiving a silent bow from Shannon and Cannon, it got the dinghy and returned to the fleet. Fleet would probably follow Erica's orders to stand by until an attack order was given. That gave the residents of the Golden Land a chance to assassinate Erica, but of course that wasn't going to be possible, practically speaking. She was Brigham Castle's greatest underling, a witch who controlled truth. Tricking her was all they could hope for. Anything else would be overconfident.
あんたたちも座ったらどうです？我らのことはお構いなくで。
Without any hint that she had just been talking about assassinations, Double O stood upright with her hands clasped behind her back. Surrender or resist until the end. The false argument resumed. Just how far and how long would they be able to trick Erica? Yes, the final fight for the Golden Land has already begun.
Battle. ここは我らに任せる。そなたはエンジェと最後のゲームを取り返すのだ。
なんてバカでかい図書館だ。
この一冊一冊に私たちのような物語が記されてるんですって。
ここは神様の世界だな。
あんたたち風情が立ち入っていい場所じゃないってことが一目でわかるでしょ。
After passing through the barrier, the three of them had finally made it inside the city of books. For some time they were overcome by the countless otherworldly sights before them, but they quickly remembered their original objective.
まず勘違いしないでほしいの。あんたたちはベルンと戦いに来たわ。でもそれはベルンと直接戦って倒すとかそういう意味じゃないんだからね。
分かってる。
そもそも大ベアドリーチェと互角にあんたが戦えたのはゲーム版の上で互角なルールに守られて戦っていたからよ。ゲーム版を出ればあんたなんかバチンって叩かれて手のひらのシミになる程度の存在なんだからね。それを忘れるんじゃないわよ。
そうよね。ここはもう私たちの知るゲーム版じゃない。
俺たちは戦いに来たんじゃない。
Let me get a drink 1 second.
「取り戻しに来ただけだ。
Thanks for waiting.
そういうこと。一なる真実の書の公開を妨げること。それだけが目的であんたたちの戦いなんだからね。そこを勘違いしちゃダメよ。
Battler and Angie nodded to show their understanding. I just nodded in real life too, unintentionally. I was like, nodding, yeah, I'm nodding.
奪い返すのは不可能よ。でも も式次第によると鍵が入場してくることになってる。
ということは鍵は別の場所に保管されているわけか。
そこが無防備という保証はないけどね。
あとはあんたたちの運次第よ。せいぜい幸運を祈るのね。
Let me turn the arrow.
隠れて。
Lambda pulled her head back from around the corner of a bookshelf. The others hurriedly followed suit. In the distance, they saw emerald green lights floating about and leaving trails.
あれはベルンの使い魔の猫よ。今日はあちこちを巡回して見張っているわ。
私たちが来ることも読まれてる。
違うわ。ここは広大だからね。迷子になるアンポンタンな来客を迷子センターにお連れするためのスタッフ猫よ。
俺たちが行きたいのは迷子センターじゃねえからな。
見つかりそうになったらやる？
よした方がいいわ。よその領地やゲーム版ならともかく、ここはベルンのホームグラウンドよ。あの猫一匹で猛獣の上に囲まれたくらいの危機感を持つことね。しかも猫よ。勘も鋭いし仲間も呼ぶわ。気取られたらその時は覚悟しなさい。私も助けないからね。あんたたちをここへ連れ込んだだけでかなり厄介。私が降参すれば裸にひんむかれて最悪のゲロカスかけらめぐり100年くらいで許してもらえるかも。素敵だわ。私にもベルンの気持ちがちょっとは理解できるようになるかもね。
Lambda wasn't laughing. Most likely, even this punishment she spoke of was pretty optimistic. Even though she keeps saying she won't help anymore, she's already risking everything.
決まっ
Why?
てんでしょ。
Lambda brushed her hair back and grinned.
あんたたちが最高のハッピーエンドを見せてくれるからでしょうが。
Aww, what a cutie. Is this part of why everyone likes Lambda so much? I mean, I already liked her, but... Lambda hugged their heads at the same time, making their foreheads bump together.
見せなさいよ。絶対。
Aww.
見せてやるぜ。絶対のハッピーエンド。
絶対に取り返す。
行くわよ。こっちよ。静かに泳いで。
The three of them swam out into the darkness of the deep ocean trench that was the city of books. In that massive, vast trench of the bookshelves, they vanished into the darkness almost immediately. Chills. I should send you the song with subs. The library defied the common sense of the human world. The city of books. The word city is no exaggeration. It was filled with green, glowing eyes of bird castles, countless tap familiars. Trying to count them would be almost as crazy as counting all the fish in the ocean. They formed schools that swam all over the place, on the lookout for any fools who might miraculously have managed to slip in and disturb their master's party. If Battler's group was found, the Catlers would I just said the Catler, like Battler Catler. The cats would report it instantly. They would probably form a pack, open their large mouths, and swallow them in a single gulp. there would be no fight. In this place, Battler's party would be swallowed like tiny fishes if they were discovered. I wish Merc was here. Me too. I think he's dealing with finals. The warships surrounding the Golden Land were well more than 100 strong. Each of them had dozens of cannons pointing at the door to the Golden Land. The goats that packed the desks of ships numbered in tens of thousands. Each one of them carried enough anti-magic toxin in their fangs to completely deny one of the game board pieces. This time they would chew apart and eat away everything. The crowd of goats unleashed their round breath and big and drool. At the time, Erica, who wanted to avoid trouble and hoped Ryuto would be able to convince Lambda to surrender peacefully, sitting alone, calmly enjoying the tea Renovated poured for her. Of course, even Erica wasn't planning to give them unlimited time. And her mind, she already decided to allow them 3 yawns before stepping in.
意外に悪くないものですね。あのベアとか海賊すぎてと身に調べるからみんなを説得してるのを眺めるの。
あの短気だったお嬢様がよくぞここまで大人になられたものです。
何がおかしいの？
いいえ、次の紅茶はいかがですか。古今東西あらゆるネイチャーをどうかごゆっくりお楽しみくださいませ。
ラムダのベアト側について徹底考察。仲間を集めてまさか冗談。
The messenger cat shook its head and continued to dispassionately nail its report.
ラムダだってそこまでバカウアウを敵に回すような真似をするのどういうことになるかわからない子じゃないはず。
Even as she said this, Burncastle was chewing away at her thumbnail.
ああ見えて妙な友人が多いのよ。それもとびきりの化け物で物好きな連中がね。それでも元老院の盾つく側につくなんて。
It was possible. She could think of many monsters among Lambda's friends who would love to see a losing side gain support and make a comeback victory. Of course, she realized that the figure Burncastle was biting was covered with sweat.
やりかねない。あの子たまに本当にバカだから。電話よ早く。
The cat leapt away and flew back with a phone and receiver.
あの子の友人たちに電話するわ。バカなゲームに関わらないようにって警告。電話番号。なんで私って番号登録してないのよ。そうよね。私友達ゼロだもん。電話のお作法って最初はもしもしでよかったんだったかしら。
Burn is panicking. The golden key is being kept in her room inside the city of thugs. However, perhaps room wasn't a fitting word to use. It was large enough and could probably fit 2 domed baseball stadiums in it if you tried. Even so, in this city, these were called rings. Floating in the center of this vast room were several magic circles. Wrapped around these magic circles was Angie's gold key. Surrounding these were countless emerald green stars, which looked like slowly revolving planetariums. The eyes that numbered the same as the stars were all glaring in the same direction.
いやーね、怖い目をして。私は味方でしょ。忘れた。
One of the cats cat-padded towards Ava, meowing that no one was allowed to enter this room.
ベルンカステル教よりこの鍵のだからここを私に任せて。あんたたちはどっかに行っちゃってちょうだいな。
Ava's always trying to help Angie. After looking at each other with suspicious eyes, the cats glared at Ava again, as though saying they hadn't heard any such order.
ところで猫って体柔らかいのよね。じゃあ跳ねるわよ。
Oh my god. Ava lifted up her golden staff, and the floor and the ceiling of the vast room were covered with red lines. The reaction from the cats was lightning fast. They realized instantly this was hostile behavior. The entire emerald green constellation writhed and became a single massive deep-sea fish, which charged at Ava with its cavernous mouth open wide. However, at the same time, the red lines on the floor and ceiling, the massive spider web pinched itself together and crushed the fish. Twisted it, spun it around and around, and compressed it into the size of a small ball. Then that ball-shaped thing burst open, leaving nothing left. It all happened in an instant.
へそでも噛んで死んじゃえば。
Oh my god. The Trenters were holding a conversation in the event hall. After all, when Ushiramiya Ava's diary was opened, the endless cat box would be lost, along with the countless imagined stories that had entertained them for so long. So this final conversation was a time for them to air their best theories one last time. While the opening of the cat box would give them a slightly lonely feeling, they couldn't contain their excitement as intellectual are words. Not when they knew that the Roken theme of mystery was finally going to be solved once and for all. If that box were opened, a single girl would be hurt. However, their jaws and things couldn't care less. The witch-hunter's goat nobles kept licking their lips, wanting to chew apart the guts of Beatrice's cat box as soon as they could. Seated upon a stolen throne so tall it looked like a pillar, Heatherine listened in on the nonsense being spewed from the mouths of the great goat nobles. A black cat wearing a cage suddenly appeared to whisper something into Heatherine's ear.
いいやよ、すべて私の筋書き通りに進み、巫女の耳には入れずともよい。
Cat bowed humbly and vanished. Heatherine raised her wine glass high and laughed as she looked through the light of the chandelier. She probably planned all this so Angie would come back and steal the... She probably knew Angie was going to come back and steal the key. Which was as beautiful and majestic as the moon.
これで素晴らしき朗読への恩には十分であろう。はて、物語を紡いでいるのは誰なのか。私がそなたに、それともそなたが私に。
これをどう？
Strattler scrutinized forward, darting from bookshelf to bookshelf, avoiding the eyes of the cats. They found something strange. Written with a faintly glowing red substance was a letter and an arrow. K. That's what it looked like to them.
K は鍵を意味してると思うか。
私たちが近づいたらこの文字が浮かび上がって、これは私たちに向けてのメッセージ。ここに私たち以外で味方をしてくれる誰かがいるってこと。
いるのか、俺たちの味方なんて。
Angie traced the red arrow with her finger. It was written with very faint, thin strings that had been tied together. This red stuff, which stuck to your finger and tore away like cotton candy, had to be. Oh. It's Angie, or not Angie, Ava's, Ava's spider webs.
どうして保証できんのよ。
いや、 俺にも分かったラムダ。これを書いたやつは信用できる。多分安全に鍵のありかへたどり着ける。誘導
いいのね。じゃあ行きましょう。あまりもたもたしていられない。
ありがとうお母さん。
Aww. Yeah, Ava's more of a mom than Cutie ever was. In the arbor, the argument over whether they should surrender or fight continued without signs of stopping. Every now and then, a small fight would break out, which fortunately ended up delaying Eric's third gun. And just like most parents, Ava's got some problems of her own. She's not perfect, but she is a good mom. But she's got some problems. It's really just tragic any of this happened, really. It's just unfortunate circumstances. However, they didn't know how long they would have to continue the fake fight. Yeah. What the? I have an alarm. This is random. Let me turn off my alarms. I don't know why those were on. But that's fine, all humans have problems? Absolutely. Animals have problems too. Actually, I have to pee really bad. I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. Sorry, I also gave my cat some wet food. Okay. The instant they tired out, the tension faded. Erica would probably demand a verdict. They had to constantly appear to be trapped and agitated. It was a battle of wariness and tension. This was their fight. Erica waited patiently. Now that she was tired of tea, she was watching Ronabe perform some magic tricks. Random. And seemed to be enjoying herself considerably. Even Ronabe, who's usually aloof from the world, was fighting. Erica got bored and had a tantrum, and all-out attack would probably begin at once. Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. He was also putting his life on the line in the fight to buy time for Battler's Grove. As the fiercest leader in the argument, Buta wore out the quickest. She breathed heavily, her face was so pale, it seemed she might faint at any moment.
ベアト、しっかり。そのテンションを続けてたら体力が続かない。急に泣き出したふりをしてしばらく休んで、その間を私たちがつなぐわ。まだ大丈夫であるとやるぞ。もう一度大きく騒ごうではないか。
Why are Beatrice's eyes so much bigger than theirs? Kinda looks off-putting.
行くぞ。さあ誰から行く？一番槍の欲しいものは。
ではゴーダ、
Oh my
参り
god.
ます。
No one asked you, Yoda.
ここは戦うべきです。戦わずして敗北を受け入れることなど言語道断です。私は最初からここは戦い抜くべきだと申し上げております。
I don't know what you said from the beginning.
ちょっと待ってください。
Yeah. Goda ruined everything. Wow, shocking. Erica suddenly rose from her chair. Ronove tried to coax her back into her seat, but Erica's attention was completely focused on those arguing under the arbor.
私は探偵です。聞いたことは録音するかのように記憶できます。
Am I a genius? Did I catch on to it too?
それは無論、そなたは優秀な探偵でもあるからな。
あんたに興味ありません。ゴーダさん、
I knew it.
私の質問に答えてください。
はい。
Goda, I hate you so
私
much.
めが何かご無礼をいたしま
ちょっとお待ちください。
Let me add to the hate counter, because this man just sucks. He just sucks. Oh my god, the hate counter's already at 1. Whoa.
戦いを望まぬ者がいることもお忘れなく。私は降参が良いかと思います。私がここに訪れて一番最初に聞いたですが今、ここは戦うべきで戦わずして敗北を受け入れることな
I
ど
knew it.
言語道断です。私は最初からここは戦い抜くべきだと申し上げております。そう言いました。
す。いや、そんなことも申し上げたでし。
議論の中で意見が変わることも時にあるかと思います。
そう他の皆さんも先ほどからどちらがいいか迷っておりまして、時に意見を変えられることも。
いいえ、あなたたちの議論は一貫して誰も意見を変えたった今、唐突にゴーダさんだけがその主張を逆転させました。しかもゴーダさんに対する他の人間からの発言を振り返っても、彼が主張を逆転させるに足るものがあったとは思えません。
I wrote so much sorry. No, you didn't. Where'd you write a lot? Did the message not send or something? After, but that's fine. All humans have problems. Did it not show? I don't think. Yeah, I didn't see anything. Try copy pasting it. I was wondering where you went. I still don't see it. Weird. Why isn't it? Do you see it on your side? Again, it doesn't show. Yeah. Maybe it's too long. You can send it to me on Discord, and then I'll read it. Everyone was silent, frozen as though time had stopped. In that silence, Erica continued with a blank expression.
以上から導き出される推理は2つです。1つはゴーダさんにもともと意見はなく、その場の雰囲気で適当なことを言う。もう1つはゴーダさんに限らず、そもそも誰も意見などなく、議論
それは考えすぎではないか。
わらわたちは必死に今後の運命を議論している。
That's what the love in the story is trying to make readers understand. If you look to people with empathy, you'll see that everyone has some good and some bad sides. If you have love, you'll see the good and the bad. And that touched me personally so much. Take, for example, someone we can agree on not liking or hating completely, Setsuna. She did wrong things just for that. Does that mean she's rotten to the core? She does a lot of nice things, but she does love Haruki and was nice to Koharu. I mean, yeah, I don't think Setsuna is all bad. But I don't know. I've met one person who's rotten to the core. But I think in general, yeah, that applies to everyone. I mean, I've thought this for forever, pretty much. That I mean, most people are just trying, they're really just trying their best. It all depends on the situation humans are in or the route.
時に普段は考えられぬ心変わりがあってもおかしくはない。
意味もなく議論を延長することに意味があるとすれば、時間を稼ぐこと。あなたたちは時間を稼ぐと何が有利になるのです？ラムダデルタ教の援軍がやってくるからです。それも違います。なぜなら時折ラムダデルタ教やバトラに話しかけている以上全てから考えて導き出される推理は一つです。
Lady Lambda and Battler are not here now. Someone will be an angel for someone, and in the end, someone else will be the devil himself, and he's the same person. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So is there really someone who's good or bad? Yeah, I've thought about that. It's like, I definitely think that, but at the same time, there are people where if you do enough, like, bad things, you kind of do become not the best person, you know what I mean? But in general, it's not like people aren't like, I think most people are genuinely good people. I think a lot of people are just hurt children that are misguided, and the hurt leads to different decisions and different choices, like, because being hurt is one of the primary emotions, you know, anger's a secondary, anger stems from being hurt, so for me it's killing for no reason or child abusers. I don't know much about murderers or if any of them kill for no reason, but I think I don't know, sometimes I think, like, let's say you have, I don't know much about psychopaths, right? But let's say a stereotypical psychopath, right, is someone who, like, doesn't feel emotion, no empathy, no whatever, right? And then there was, like, but a lot of times I don't believe, anyways, but let me continue and then I'll respond. Right, so let's say you have a psychopath and he doesn't feel anything and he literally just kills because he, like, gets bored and finds that amusing, but he doesn't, everyone's telling him he's wrong, but his brain can't process it. Like, is it his fault that he has, like, that brain? Like, he was born that way? No one can control how they were born, you know what I mean? But he is, but it's not good. Like, what they're doing isn't good, but it's not like they're chose to be that way. I don't know, I think about that a lot. There are a lot of those in history. You probably know more about this than me then. But, like, when I think of, like, you know, like those serial killers who are like, yeah, I killed, like, 24 people and I didn't care, it was so fun, and and all that stuff. I feel like that's just bravado, you know what I mean? I don't know, I could be totally wrong, like, I don't know. I could just be talking out of my ass, but, like, I think I'm sure they do, there is some reason, like, there has to be something that happened. I don't know, but I could be totally, you know, who knows. or real child abusers, but yeah, I think there are certain people, like, there are certain types of narcissists. I mean, I'm speaking from experience. Like, my mom married one, and it was like, he's like the person who I think is genuinely, like, the only person I could ever say I hate. Because I'm not a person who ever really hates anyone. Because I try to understand everyone as best I can. And it's really hard to hate someone when you understand why they do things. But that man was just the most selfish, awful person in history. Well, not in history, sorry. There are people like Hitler who exist, but like, you know, like, I don't know, I just like, I remember one time he said, like, my mom got cancer like 3 times, right? And one time he said that the cancer was harder on him than her because he had to deal with it. Like, are you fucking kidding me? She almost died. Well, she did die. But the first time she almost died, right? The first time she had cancer, and then that's when he said that. Like, it was harder on him than her. Like, are you kidding me? And there's so many other examples, like, I can't even, it's just, like, insane. That's why people like that shouldn't be out in the normal world. I know it's not their fault if they are real insane. Killing someone not only ends that person's life, which is not fair, but also hurt all those who love him and can ruin their life. Oh no, absolutely. I always have thought in my head, since I think about killing and murder a lot. Not that I would kill anyone, haha. But like, I think about death a lot, and like, when you kill someone, you take on you take on the responsibility of everyone who loved them. Like, you have to deal with that. You have to bear that. Everyone who loved that person, like, you take that away from them. But that's why I think, like, there needs to be more research into that kind of stuff so that we could help them, you know, to prevent that kind of stuff. Because these people aren't, like, just evil, they're just different, and then it just gets fucked up, you know what I mean? I don't know. Like, they're not, like, I don't know. There's gotta be, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? In which case, their goal is probably to steal back the gold key in Angie. And your plan was to act as bait and buy time until their mission was complete.
ただゴーダさんがセリフを言い間違えるだけでフルドエリカにはこの程度の推理が可能です。いかがです皆様方。
With a blanket, ruthless expression, Erica spoke these words and returned to her seat. Everyone was frozen, unable to move. Goda, you motherfucking... See, my intuition knew that he would ruin everything. It's a sensitive topic, yes, sorry for talking about it. No, you're okay. You don't need to apologize. Sorry if I yapped too much about it. However, time was moving. As evidence, a bead of sweat dripped on someone's cheek, fell and hit a table with a tiny audible splash. Someone assassinated Erica, then frozen time shattered in the same instant. The white chair Erica had been sitting in broke apart. The stakes of the Seven Sisters of Purgatory and the high-velocity rounds from which she asked her sister hit the chair exactly at the same time. A few minutes after that, Erica, sitting in the chair, faded and vanished.
Tango!
Well, they hit it after him. Hold on, let me check something really quick. The instant Erica moved to a spot behind the chair. Her expression remained as blank as it had been before. However, there was now something in her hand that hadn't been there. As the seven lightning strikes of the seven sisters raced at her once more, she bathed all of them away with her sight. Do you guys mind if I pause here? And I played for like 30 minutes. No personal. I don't know how long I'll play, but I will play for a little at least.
とんだ茶番でした。でも紅茶は美味しかったですよ。ごちそうさまです。
1 second, actually. Okay.
では皆さんの意見は最初から統一されているようですし、改めましてお返事をお伺いしましょう。
Erica lifted her left hand, the one that wasn't holding the sight. OMG, last and conductor, my theme song. Oh, nice.
ここはわらわの我らの黄金鏡。土足で踏み入るならば相応の歓迎をしようぜ。つまりだ、上品に一言で言うとな、
全項目攻撃上目標黄金鏡。
味噌汁で顔洗って出直してきやがれ。
Her.
打ちやれ。
Ew, she's such a little devil. This is the only time it plays in the game.
そう、ありがとう。
I've heard this before, though.
それじゃまにゃん。
Yeah. Barncastle set down the receiver and crossed out yet another name on Lambda's notable friends. Something was wrong. Not a single person she called had heard anything about Lambda. They weren't just playing dumb. They really knew nothing about the strange ruckus Lambda was trying to stir up. Even Barncastle was starting to suspect something was fishy. It's a remix of World and Domination. Oh, okay. Then the black cat left in and meowed a frantic report.
黄金鏡にラムダとバトラがいない。
She tore the phone receiver from its stand. The number she dialed was short. It was probably an internal line. However, after listening to it ring several times, she slammed the receiver down again and finally managed to break the phone.
手の空いている猫をすべて集めなさい。大至急。鍵の警護にやった猫た
Which
ちが
plays before?
誰も応答しない。ラムダー。
Fern, overwhelmed with emotion, kicked the table over. Then the room finally grew bright. It was like green sunlight. A bright light waved about, giving the illusion that a green sun was rising and lighting the room up. is a sign that Berncastle's army had been given an emergency summons.
さあおいで子猫たち。
Aww, my kitties.
魔女狩りの時間よ。あの子はキャンディーの匂いがするからね、すぐに見つけられるわ。最初に見つけた猫には人の姿と魔女の称号をあげるわ。
What was now an emerald green nebula let out a roar of delight that shook the bookshelf cliff.
何かが追ってくるわ。
なんだあれは。緑。
隠れてバレたのよ。
Three of them frantically hid behind a bookshelf. Oh no, I dropped it at episode 2. Is it good? Oh, something about that. There went the key and it was straight ahead. They could see something glinting faintly in the darkness of that room. The glint different from anything else they'd seen so far in the city. The color of the glint was gold. They had almost reached the golden key. However, if they went towards it, Berncastle would be right behind them, along with her vast swarm of familiars. In other words, they were trapped in a dead end. They already knew that the emerald green color came from the eyes of the familiars. However, it was almost beyond comprehension that this undulating green sun could be the same thing. It's very interesting. I don't know if it's good enough, but it's very weird and going very dark. They could do nothing except stare in wide-eyed shock. The countless cats were passing through the ravine of bookshelves from the very top to the very bottom. As they approached, they painstakingly checked the gaps between each book. However, even this mind-numbingly huge task was accomplished swiftly thanks to the sheer number of familiars. With the speed of a gust of wind, they carefully checked every nook and cranny. There was no way to hide from this green sun. That would have been foolish to try and hide from the water on a sinking ship.
やり過ごせるの？
無理だ。あれじゃどこに隠れても見つかれ。
Tyler was just about to leap out from the shadows, but Lambda grabbed him out by the collar the instant before.
戦う気？
違う。ここにとどまって見つかるだけだ。なら前へ進むしかない。一刻も早く鍵にたどり着くんだ。
鍵を守る猫がいないわけないでしょ。私たちは挟み撃ちにされたのよ。
私はエヴァおばさんを信じる。おばさんが私たちをここまで導いてくれた。きっとおばさんは見張りの猫たちもやっつけてくれているはずよ。
俺も同感だ。ここにいて見つかるくらいなら一刻も早くあそこにたどり着いて鍵を取り返そう。鍵さえ取り返せればもう誰もあの本を開くことはできない。
あそこにたどり着いて鍵を手に。それであそこ袋小路よ。逃げ場ないのよ。分かってる？
それは分かってるけど。
鍵は切り札だ。ベルンカステルにだって一か八かだ。鍵をカードに。
あのベルに交渉。あんた正気じゃないわ。
だがここに隠れてても絶対に見つかる。なら100億の中の一つの確率だとしても鍵を手に入れ、それを切り札に奴となんとか立ち回るんだ。
奇跡の魔女を相手にあんたは奇跡を祈るわけ？
天文学的数字の中に1を拾う。それが後ろ宮家の魔法ってやつだぜ。
私目がいいから教えてあげる。あの黄金の鍵を取り囲んでる魔法陣わかる？あれは簡単だけどなかなか堅牢な結界よ。触れば壊せる簡単な結界だけれど、でもね、どんな大魔女でも人間風情でも解くのにかっきり1時間をかけるという価値の式典の進行上まだ1時間前にはなってない。つまり 私たちは1時間稼がなきゃ鍵に触れることさえできないのよ。
エヴァおばさんはきっと見張りの猫たちをやっつけた時1時間はかからないはず。
見る限りまだ魔法陣は健在ね。残念ながらエヴァがそうしてくれたとしてもそれは1時間以内の話みたいよ。
1時間なんてちょろいもん。少なくともそれだけ粘れば手に入るという明白なゴール。
そうね、いいじゃない1時間の鬼ごっこ。私こわもてに追いかけ回されるのには慣れてるの。
あんたたち札付きのパワー揃いね。ベルンとあの数の猫を相手に本気で鬼ごっこをさせてもらえると。
確率が 1% でもあるなら
俺たちが絶対にそれを掴み取ってやる。
Difference in enthusiasm between siblings who had everything to lose, and Lambda was immense. However, Lambda was no coward. She was a great witch of the Senate. If she surrendered, she wouldn't be able to escape severe punishment, but she would be forgiven after a few hundred years. Why would she, after being thrown into a stormy sea while clutching a buoy that could save only her, decide to throw that buoy away? Sorry. Umineko time. Hi, Rana. I hope you're doing well. No living person could be as determined as the siblings who are already fighting for their lives. No one can blame Lambda.
ああ、もう本当にバカだわあんたたちは。仕方ないわね。1% よりもうちょっと確率が高くなる作戦を教えてあげるわ。ズバリ何だと思う？
Two siblings looked at each other. However, they both thought that any plan would be worth listening to, even if it would only raise their chances by 1%. Well, not 1, a little percent.
ベルンは猫だから逃げる獲物は追うけれど逃げない獲物は殺す。それもネチネチといたぶってね。最悪ね。
しかしそれが本当なら
生贄を1人じゃんけんで選びましょう。負けた子はベルンをたっぷり挑発して笑わせて殺されて1分1秒でも時間を稼ぐ。それでいいわね。
じゃんけんはいらない。俺がやる。エンジェとラムダ鍵の部屋へ行って
ダメよお兄ちゃん、私がやるわ。元はといえばこれは私の責任。ベルンカステルの言葉に耳を貸し心を許した。だからあいつに一言くらい言ってやりたいのよ。
Both Butler and Angie decided to make the sacrifice, and one listened to the other.
ね。じゃんけんじゃないと決まらないでしょ。さっさと決めないとこの作戦も使えなくなるわよ。もうじき連中がやってくるわ。
俺かエンジェが生贄をやる。
Sorry, one sec. When did I start? At like 10:30?
残った方を連れて
10:40?
鍵を奪ったら黄金鏡に連れ帰ってやる。
Sorry, Omi, I mean. Okay, Jin can decide who... Jin can decide who'll get tortured and killed then.
譲らないわよ
Duncan, maybe?
お兄ちゃん。
ふざけやがって。たまには兄らしいことをさせやがれ。
時間ないわよ。じゃんけん一発勝負。
Oh yeah, Duncan is rock, paper, scissors. I'm stupid.
私超パーだからそれにちなんで最初はパーからね。いい？二人とも。
いいわ。
エンジェ恨みっこなしだぜ。
Aw, it's so cute.
せーの、最初はパー。
Really was a stupid kids game of rock, paper, scissors, since they promised to start with paper. so it's a chance to make a surprise attack and use something else. However, since both Battler and Angie chose rock, and yet it wasn't a tie, because in addition to those two rocks was one person who chose scissors. I'm gonna cry! Stop with this music! No, Lambda! No. She's so cute. Stop. I can't deal with it. Lambda best girl. Oh, I'm gonna cry. After staring stupidly at their fists and the scissors, they looked at her.
ちゃあ最初はパーだからチョキ出して一人勝ちしてやろうって思ったのにやっぱりパーはパー出してなきゃダメね
But no reason for Lambda to join in on the game. This wasn't the time for a joke like that. Battler and Angie, each trying to lose, chose rock. Lambda alone chose scissors.
あんたわざとチョキを。
お前に死なれたら
No, I'm gonna
俺たちは
go
黄金鏡に帰れないだろうが
by.
こんなの無効だ
これで大丈夫でしょ
No! It doesn't count because you're not gonna be there. Lambda made a clenched fist and a pale glowing fragment appeared there. She'd given it to the pair of them. Battler had seen one of these before. Oh, I'm crying. This is so sad.
それがあれば二人とも黄金鏡に帰れるわそれにこれが一番の人選なのよあんたたちじゃベルン相手に数秒と持たないだろうし私なら1時間どころかひょっとしたら勝っちゃうかもねあの子には借りがあるし今度は私の勝ちってことにしてイーブンにしないとアウェイは辛いわね
Lambda pretended to complain as she stood up straight.
じゃあ行ってくるわ私目立ちたがり屋だからやっぱ感激者は無理だったわごめんね出番を奪っちゃってあんたたちのゲーム最後まで感激できないのは残念だけどもう筋書きは教えてもらえたから見る必要もないわ
ラムだ
Then with her broadest smile and a wink.
あんたたちのハッピーエンドもう先が読めちゃったから見なくても分かっちゃうわじゃあねまた会いましょうねあんたたちのハッピーエンドのクレジットロールでね待って
Lambda snapped her fingers and the two of them turned into candies. She picked them up and took the aim in the glint of the golden key and flicked them away. That way she should be able to reach the key without Birdcastle noticing. Dang, what terrible luck. What were the odds of them both playing rock against my scissors? Yeah, I know. It wasn't nice of me to test you like that. Sorry, you two. And then Lambda's body was lit up by an emerald green light. Aww. She turned around, the cat's eyes and Lambda's eyes met. Lambda grinned and waved. The fierce roar and several white flashes.
何事
A chain of explosions flashed by one after another, enveloping Birdcastle and her pack of familiars in an instant. They were multicolored fireworks, or rather multicolored candy that burst with a flash and scattered everywhere. Countless stick candies, sugar sculptures, cookies, and tarts flew in every direction, and each one of those, split and exploded into hundreds of candies, each which exploded again into a cloud of confetti. This looks like such a good background. I should use that as a background. However, these sweets weren't sweet. The conpeito was heavier than lead, harder than steel, and sharper than any blade. As the colorful cloud exploded outward, it blasted the entire pack of cats into bits. The emerald green glints were scattered everywhere and sparkled like the night sky, and among them danced a cloud of pretty candies that looked like they'd go well on a Christmas tree. They were sufficiently outrageous and beautiful and cute to mark the great lady which Lambda Delta's appearance on the scene.
あら、ラムダじゃない。あなたとはパーティー会場で会いたかったの。
愛してるわベル。
I love you, bird.
愛をささやくなら二人きりの方が素敵でしょ。
それとあんたの両手両足をもいだ後にゆっくりと聞かせてちょうだい。
With a jerk of her chin, Vern ordered her familiars to attack.
私の愛しい愛しいたった一人の友人、両腕の肘から先、両足の膝より先、自由に食いちぎって構わない。それ以外傷一つ許さないわよ。
The crowd of cats undulated again, reformed into a single mass, and became the emerald green leviathan that would swallow up any poor victims who snuck into the city of books. Best couple. It was shaped like an impossibly vast whale. Looks like a Venus flytrap. However, would it look like a whale from Lambda's perspective? She probably couldn't see anything except an immense mouth about to swallow up everything.
素敵。私をベルンの愛で飲み込んでくれるのね。
愛してる。
Yay!
あんたの手足をもいだらお尻から鉄串で貫いて、そして毎朝目覚めのキス、
Ooh!
そして毎日お休みのキスをしてあげる。
Oh my gosh.
本当に素敵。じゃあ私もあなたを愛で包んであげる。
For Orlando's war cry was swallowed up by the glowing, writhing leviathan in a single bite.
ああ、素敵。ラムダ、あんたのその向こう水で命知らずでほんのりパーなところが大好きだわ。
Same instant that Lambda was swallowed and Burn cast was sure of her victory, the later felt a single breeze playing with her hair. Countless sweets that Lambda had sent flying like fireworks, which drifted about like the decorations at a Christmas party, were flowing. Now they were converging on a single point. The cannon's gonna turn into Lambda, right? It was like watching a firework run backwards. Countless sweets rapidly contracted around the vast closed-mouthed leviathan. Oh my god. True love, absolutely. A gigantic reverse explosion contracted on a point inside it. Perhaps it was more like countless candies showering the leviathan from all directions like bullets. Inside that massive green was a black swirl. The swirl was on the palm of Lambda, who wore a defiant smile. Oh, it was a massive supergravity. Holy shit. All the sweets, all the cats, the whale, everything else was being sucked into one point and being crunched. Black hole zero caught me.
私を吸い込む気。
All the candies Landed has scattered were getting sucked back into the black hole in her palm at unbelievable speed. reverse explosion of the oncoming candy whittled away at the Leviathan, crushing it inwards.
ほら抱きしめてあげるからおいでなさい。
With all her strength, Barncastle held her ground in midair, trying to resist the supergravity. For the first time, all of the condensation had left her face. All trace of condescension. That was rough for me. Even Lambda's cocky expression was marred by the sweat trailing from her forehead. Because their power was so overwhelming, any victory would have been instantaneous. If either relaxed in the slightest, they would match each other's strengths and get dragged into another dismally long fight that could last for centuries. Neither of them had any desire to go through that again. So neither of them showed the slightest mercy for their most beloved friend. By now the Leviathan had been completely crushed and compressed inside the black hole. Barncastle was the only one still holding her ground. However, one swarm of candy asteroids like the asteroid Glow repeatedly slammed into Barncastle, wearing away at her girl's form bit by bit. Aww.
逃げなきゃ。私本当に。
The thing flying into Barncastle's range of vision was a comet pelting straight for her, with a massive present box at its core and a cloud of candy surrounding it. The candy comet wiped out Barncastle along with her scream. Burst into little bits, and within a blink of an eye, it was sucked back into a hole of supergravity. Once it was all gathered into one place like a gem, it began to spin rapidly. It was flattened by the centrifugal force, turning into something whose shape resembled a galaxy. After swallowing all the cats and their master, it now looked like a wiggling, flickering, emerald green galaxy that just floated above Lambda's palm. The pocket of supergravity kept compressing it further and further until at the end it had become a single green, shining Konpei-ito. Pocket of supergravity kept... I already read that. And then it fell down onto her outstretched palm.
ごめんねベル。あなたといつまでも遊んでいたいから、いつもは必死のふりしてほどほどで遊んでるけど。
Lambda held the Konpei-ito above her head and peered at it.
私、本当はどうしようもなく強いのよ。ごめんね。
Then she pressed the Konpei-ito to her pink lips, gave it a light kiss, and bit down.
ベルの味がしない。
Lambda licked her fingertips, turned to face the empty air behind her.
知ってたわ、愛しいラムが。
My beloved Lambda. I think I'm gonna pause here just because it's getting hard for me to talk. I am like, yeah, I'm wearing down, you know what I mean? I'm like an old car that's been running on the highway for a little bit too long. You know, maybe we should drive off to the side and take a rest. You know what I'm saying? Wait, did I save? I can't remember. Okay, I did. I was like, there's been times where I think I save, but I don't. I don't know how long I played for. I hope it was a good enough time. Sorry it wasn't super long. But thank you guys so much for watching. I super duper appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good time, and I hope you continue to have a good night, hopefully. or day, afternoon, whatever time it is for you. And I hope you guys take care, stay hydrated, and I'll see you guys next time, okay? I'll see you guys. Bye bye. Close. Oh no, cause of League? Oh. Okay, wait, I have to pee really bad, so let me BRB and then I'll get into it, okay? KK back.
知ってたわ、愛しいラムが。
ああ、愛してるわ、ベル。
嘘よ、あんたがいつだって私に本気じゃないって知ってたの。
じゃあ本当に愛し合いましょうよ、お互い本気で。
ああ、愛してるわ、ラムダ出ると嬉しいわ、本当に嬉しいわ。愛してるわ、ベルン
She's
カ
such
セ。
lesbian.
あなたを飴玉に変えて永遠に私の舌の上で可愛がってあげる。
Damn, nice! Lambda got that wrist! Said I'll turn you into candy and cuddle you with my tongue forever. Damn!
どちらが勝っても私たちは愛し合えるのね。
These are the two bitches in the corner of the psych ward.
それって本当に素敵だわ。それって本当に素敵。
さあ
Whoever wins, we all win.
愛し合いましょうよ。
With a crash, cracked lines appeared across the sky of the Golden Land. Then finally the barrier of the Golden Land was breached by the fleet's assault. It was a bizarre scene, more ridiculous than anyone had imagined. The sky of the Golden Land shattered like glass, and a fleet of sailboats flew in one after another. They were crowded with goats, pushing each other and spilling off the sides.
さあ始めましょう、黄金鏡の最後の宴を。
A banquet. It wasn't some fancy metaphor, but a simple statement of fact. The overwhelming surge of goat troops came in like a tsunami. The residents of the Golden Land who stood defiantly were like a forgotten sandcastle on a beach. A fight between a wave and a sandcastle is not a fight. This was a banquet for the oncoming Vikings at a stand-up meal, the voracious, merciless goats. Oh yeah,
ぜひもな
Nazi.
しぶち殺せ。グッド。さあヤギたち、 形あるものに破壊を、動くものに静寂を、生けるものに絶望を。
All those who could use magic fired it off at once. With a shout like a thunderclap, the goat tsunami rushed forward. Everything collided at once, and there was a brilliant and terrible explosion. Sparks and smoke. Stop yawning me! Flying splinters and screams. For just an instant, the fierce magical cannonballs fired by Beato, Virgilia, and its sister Cora seemed to halt the gold tsunami in its tracks. However, their numbers were so great that they didn't even flinch. The goat wave continued to walk over their corpses that had been blasted away, or which had fallen to their knees in weariness. The mound of corpses piled up, and still more goats were shot down as they tried to cross it, so that in a few seconds it really was tall enough to be a tsunami.
哀れな。あなたが築き上げてきた黄金鏡など、浜辺に子供が残した砂の城に過ぎない。飲み込まれて消えてしまえ。ならばそなたは岸壁に打ち寄せる無力なさざ波を思うがいい。波に飲まれる砂の城、飲んでみろよ、わらわの城よ。
Beato lifted her hands, telling the pair of battle towers that had been hidden deep in the ground that the day of glory had come again. The goat tsunami looked up in shock. After all, this time the tsunami that towered over everything wasn't them. A thunderstorm of rapid-fire ballista rounds leapt from the tower gun ports. The goats let out a confused scream at the furious tempest that was bearing down on them. However, they saw something else too. Monday. However, in the sky high above the tower was a reaper astride a divine horse and a backdrop by the moon, a massive spear the size of a tower in its hand. The great witch sitting on the horse by the reaper spoke.
お帰りなさい。ここはあなたたちの世界ではありません。行っちまえ、お師匠様
Beatrice. The heavenly spear pierced the ground. For an instant it looked like some divine tower was sticking out of the ground. However, that was the very last thing those eyes ever saw. The sacred spear was the embodiment of heaven's wrath, and the strength to bury an unclean city in a single stroke was unleashed upon the pack of goats. With a massive explosion that resembled a volcanic eruption, goats were sent flying all over the place.
やるわね。さすが魔女だわ。
でもどうかな。
敵はまだまだ来るわ。やっぱり飲み込まれるのは私たちなのよ。
にしちゃあんたたちは楽しそうだ
わ。祭りは楽しまねば損ということだ。どうやら我らの出番がなくなるということはなさそうだぞ。
みてえだな。燃えてきたぜ。
Yes, the crowd of goats truly was like a wave pressing in from the sea. You might be able to split a riffle on the beach with your feet, but you can't split the sea, witches could. However, that meant the other side also had someone who could split sea. Suddenly, smoke poured from one of the two towers, and the ground shook as it crumbled.
なんなんだ一体。あそこよ、もう一方の塔の上。 エリカ、そうだよな。今度はそなたの番であるよな。
At the top of the battle tower, Erica stood gracefully, wielding her scythe.
これで黄金鏡の魔女たちへの敬意には十分でしょう。魔法など全てまやかし、ミステリーに飲み込まれて必ず消えるファンタジーの砂の城。楽しかったですよ、魔法ごっこ。なんだか幼かった頃、近所のお姉ちゃんたちとこんな遊びをした気がします。だからもうこれでおしまいにしましょう。ここからはあんたたちが絶叫を聞かせてくれる番です。
Erica threw that pretentious pirate hat she had been wearing this whole time into the sky. With the moon behind it, Erica's form, her afterimage, vanished from the tower's peak.
どこに？レーダー捕捉してます。戦闘壁面。
Shaking with a wild, joyous laughter, Erica dashed straight down the tower. She swung her scythe like a baton, and as she passed along the tower's wall, its gun ports, walls, pillars, and everything else was crushed, leaving a trail of smoke. So from the sidelines, it looked as though a line of smoke had suddenly split the tower from top to bottom. A golden arrow to the chest her sister poured chased after Erica like golden threads on a sewing machine.
この化け物、縫われて刺繍になるに
Yeah!
グッドグッドグッド。
Even the golden arrows couldn't catch up with Erica. Finally, Erica reached the bottom of the battle tower, and empty cartridges were ejected from the golden bows. Good.
ハゼロ、役立たずの塔でしたっけ。
Erica, who had now landed on the ground, slowly stood up and tapped the tower behind her with the hand of her scythe. That tiny tap cut the final string that held the tower together, and the whole thing fell in on itself with an earth-shattering crash. Once again, the dark tsunami rumbled forward through the rubble and smoke.
我こそは真実の魔女フルドエリカなり。今こそ真実にて黄金鏡を解体する。土は土に、幻は幻に終わらせてあげますよ。あ、さあさあ、思い出してごらんなさい、亡霊たち。本当はもうとっくに死んでるんだってこと。
The goat tsunami swallowed everything up. When she saw them sink under the beach, black sea of goats, Erica gawped from atop the debris of the tower.
さあ、殺せ殺せ、皆殺しになさい。全員の首を切り落として槍に突き刺して掲げなさい。怒号と真実の渦に飲み込まれて消え去ってください。1986年の亡霊たち、さようなら。
Sayonara. Ava had broken the magic circle around the key beforehand after all. By the time Battler and Angie reached it, it was falling apart like sand in an hourglass. Tried punching and kicking it to make it break faster, but nothing they did hastened the process.
だいぶ前に壊してくれたみたいだけど、それでもまだ時間をかけそうだわ。
多分、おそらくあと5分も稼げれば。
Judging by the speed, the magic circles were crumbling, and the general appearance of the whole scene, it looked like it would be over soon. However, right now, could even 5 minutes be considered soon? They turned around. Beyond the bookshelf ravine was a universe. Even for battler who had seen Beatrice's fights many times over, the battle between Lambda and Burncastle was so mind-defying that he couldn't think of a single word to describe it. When he finally managed to find a word, it was a universe. Each time a battle between Lambda and Burn unfolded, a universe was created between the pair of them. Big bangs would take place, universes would be created, galaxies beyond number would be born in a race, Then just when it seemed that a big crunch had occurred, that the universe had met its demise, there would be another big bang and another universe would be created. It was like watching gods playing. The two witches created and destroyed worlds over and over again, almost as though two creators were fighting to prove that their universe was the right one. If you let your guard down in the slightest, and just watching this would steal your soul, that's how it felt.
もうすぐで鍵が取り返せる。そしたらラムダデルタのくれたかけらで黄金鏡へ帰れるのよね。
演者は鍵を取ったらすぐか。俺はラムダデルタを放っておけない。
あの戦いの中に飛び込むっての？
だが放っておけねえだろ。二人の戦いはだが完全に俺みたいな人間風情一人の火星でも何かを崩せるかもしれない。
Perfect balance maintained by two great powers can easily break by adding even a little strength to one side. However, actually rushing in there to add that little bit of strength would be literally suicidal. Like a moth flying into a furnace, it might burn up before it even reaches it.
鍵を手に入れたらエンジェはすぐに黄金鏡へ飛んで帰れ。向こうもいつまで持ちこたえられるかわからない。
The only thing that would break your bones, Ballet.
みんな戦ってるのに私一人だけ帰れない。
そうだな。だからお前みんなと一緒に死ねなかったことを悔やみながらその気持ちに打ち勝って
Oh, Angie, baby.
未来に生きるんだ。それをお前は
I
決
feel
意した
so
はず
bad
だ。
for her. I feel like I can relate to Angie a lot. Like, not her personality, but shit she's been through, I can really relate to. Angie had no words to respond with. Her brother and everyone else would probably die, so she wanted to die in the same place at the same time as everyone else. However, that could not be allowed, so she mustn't wish for it. She had already made up her mind. She had sworn to live in the future, without turning back to look at everyone's deaths.
黄金鏡に帰ったらベアドに鍵を見せろ。するとベアドはお前のそしてお前に簡単な謎かけをし、それが俺のゲーム版の最後のゲームだ。
二つの
二つのうち今のお前なら絶対に間違いない。そしてそれをくぐったら扉が閉まるまで後ろを振り返るな。
What happens if you do?
どうして振り返っちゃいけないの？
扉が閉まれば俺たちの運命は、つまり俺たちは猫箱の中に閉ざされる。
猫箱に閉ざされた運命は無限の真実を持つ。
そういうことだ。俺たちはボロクソに負けたかもしれねえし、奇跡の大逆転で生き残るかもしれない。つまりお前という未来の魔女に俺たちの決着を観測させずに未来に送り出せれば、
Don't look back like
俺たちには
Orpheus.
勝機があるってことだ。
Orpheus fucked up.
だが
Stupid bitch. I'm just
お前がいつまでも俺たちを見ていたら、お前は俺たちが全滅するところを見ちまう。そうなりゃ 100% の敗北が確定だ。だからお前は俺たちに勝利の奇跡を与えるためにも扉をくぐったら決して振り返っちゃいけない。いいな。
Why? Because he looked back and then he fucked it up for him and his lover. Like he had one job and he
俺は
fucked
ラムダデ
up.
ルタを助けに行くのさ。その俺の勇姿を見送って黄金鏡に帰れば、それがお前の中での俺の最後の姿になる。
お兄ちゃんたちの勝敗は 猫箱に閉ざされる。
Dumb Greek myth character, you had one
だ
job.
から絶対に負けない。
そういうことだ。
Fuck that guy in particular,
だから
damn.
振り返るな。もうじき鍵が手に入る。一目散で黄金鏡に帰るんだ。だから今のうちに手短に未来のお前に俺からメッセージを送る。いいか、忘れるなよ。よっ、いついかなる時もな、生きる希望を捨てるんじゃねえぜ。俺たちはいつだってみんなお前が信じてさえくれりゃ声だってかけられるんだ。いいな、奇跡はな、信じれば絶対に叶うから。
At that moment, Lambda and Byrne were wrapped in a massive explosion. Might be harder for poor Angie. Her entire mission was to find out what happened. Absolutely. Surely one of them had delivered a powerful blow. There were no future explosions, so that strike must have decided the match. When the smoke clears, who will be left standing? The magic circle sealing the key needed several minutes to dissolve. Yeah, I knew
いる
that.
私の愛しいラムダデルタ。
All that came into sight was Burn Castle. There was no answering voice from Lambda. Maybe it's a twist and Lambda's disappearing to strike. Orpheus was just curious. True. This was a sign of her victory. It did not cause Burn Castle's expression to grow any brighter.
残念よラムダ。あなたとなら二人で宇宙が築けると思ってたのに残念よ。本当に残念。
Burn Castle was still focusing all her nerves on the battle. She took no notice of Ballard and Annie by the key. However, she'd probably notice soon, and there would be nowhere to run. At the last section of the magic circle was starting to fade away. However, almost cruelly, the final circle went slower than the rest. I love this song. Seeing that any hopes that it would dissolve in a minute, or maybe a few dozen seconds, were crushed absolutely, Atler readied himself.
俺じゃああはいかねえだろうがな。今度は俺の出番のようだぜ。
お兄ちゃん。
偉いぞエンジ。よく止めなかった。
Tears still pouring down her face, Angie lovingly rubbed her cheek against the hand that had been patting her head. Aww.
また子猫たちを集めなきゃ。バトラも一緒にいると思ってたのに、その姿がないのはあんなやつ一人でも残しておけば、靴に入り込んだ小石程度には厄介だものね。
Smoke cleared completely, and they saw a huge cloud of candy bits floating around like it was Lambda's corpse. Star-shaped cookie bounced off Burn Castle's head. It was missing one of its points, giving it a lonely feeling.
ラムダデルタ、私と共に生きなさい。私の中で。あなたは私と一つの宇宙になるの。
Burn Castle chewed the cookie and swallowed it.
これで私たちは永遠に一緒よ。愛してるわ。ラムダ。
私もよ。
I knew it! I'm a genius. Burn Castle's stomach suddenly swelled like a balloon. The bulge rose from her stomach to her throat and exploded like a firework from her mouth. From Burn Castle's mouth spewed fireworks, sparks, fragments of candy.
直せないよ。猫の頃の習性は怪しいお菓子を拾い食いしちゃダメでしょ。
Burn Castle doubled over even more, spitting up an exploding firework. The birth of a small universe from that sweet had hit her directly from the inside of her stomach. Even Burn Castle couldn't withstand that. Burn Castle repeatedly vomited fireworks so violently that it seemed her guts would spill out. Her body flickered in and out of existence, and she glared at Lambda with a terrifying expression. Her body was flickering because she'd take so much damage that even maintaining her form was now difficult.
はしたないわベル。お姿が乱れていてよ。ラムちょっぴり負けてあげちゃおっかなって気でもやめたわ。あんたと一つの宇宙になっちゃったらベルンは二度と私に愛をささやいてくれないもの。
そうね、私釣った魚に餌はあげないたちだもん。
知ってるわ。だからベルンは美しく輝くのよ。思わせぶりな仕草を見せるのに決して誰にもこびることはない気高い猫の女王のように。
あんたを段ボールに変えて側面揃えて私の爪研ぎにしてあげるわ。
あんたこそ三味線にして一回弾いたら飽きて押し入れに入れて埃を積もらせてあげるわよ。
The goat tsunami had swallowed up everything, but sea spray was still flying about. The reefs resisted the ocean that was trying to cover them and were smashing waves left and right. Seven Sisters of Purgatory and the Inquisitors of Heresy specialized in close-range combat and were rapidly building a mountain of corpses. The witches fought hard too, but they would have preferred to fight at a distance if they could. The illusions alone wouldn't be enough. In these battle conditions, all the humans were thrust right into the center of the fight. Everyone in the Ushinomiya family displayed a fighting spirit equal to the witches and guarded their backs. Even humans are not powerless. They have guns. If the goats supported fantasy, they could use the ultimate anti-magic weapons. If the goats supported mystery, they could use these in a much more obvious way. Those 45 long Colt bullets delivered fatal wounds to each and every goat they struck.
死に損ないどもがいつまで抵抗しやがるんですか。いい加減その辺で沈みやがれです後ろ宮。
沈めと言われればあがきたくなるのが後ろ宮よ。小娘、お前に語れるほど後ろ宮甘くはないわ。
あんたなんざ1986年以前に死んでるでしょうがはしゃぎすぎなんですよこのクソじじい。
Erica's razor-sharp scythe buried itself in Kinzo's chest. It dug straight into his heart, but the daring smile on his face didn't falter.
我が死を猫箱の外の誰が観測したというのか。あれは不滅なり。不滅なり。
A punch containing the entirety of Kinzo's last spark of life sent Erica flying.
お父さんお父さんしっかり。
Oh, I'm glad it's Nazi, because Nazi's the one who cared the most. Oh.
踏み越えて行け。お後ろ宮家は振り返るな。
Erica tried to deliver the finishing blow. Kraus stepped in between them, blocking the way.
親父殿に代わって
Oh, Kraus,
私
you're
が
not
お
gonna be
相
able
手
to
し
do anything. But that's nice of you. Good for you for trying.
無能投資家の大先生ではございませんか。
Period. I mean, Erica's spitting facts right now.
よくもまあ儲からない話
Oh
ば
my
かり
god,
を
stop! You're so right!
失礼。靴紐が溶けてはい
Is she
ない。
gonna look down and then he's gonna hit her? Yeah, that's so obvious. Oh my god, I can't. Erica tried to look down at her feet, but she saw was Kraus's left fist. Her left uppercut made Erica float in the air. Not by magic, but by the simple laws of physics. For an instant, Erica saw the moon.
私は投資家としては無能だろ
True
う。
that.
だがボクサーとしての才能は大学時代の友人たちが証明す
Period,
るだろう。
Kraus.
お
Embrace
前ご
it.
とき小娘に我が後ろ宮の全てを否定することなど
この後ろ宮クラウスが許さん。
学園祭で私はカノン君をみんなに紹介したぜ。シャクに、ヒナに、他にもみんなに、友達みんなが証明する。お前らの勝手な想像で私たちの中を勝手に決めつけるんじゃねえぜ。
Jessica. Jessica's body glow made the ghost massive body came in.
お見事ですお嬢様。このような窮地でよくそれだけの力を。そりゃそうだぜ。だって私今死んでもいいかなって思っちゃって。カノン君に背中を預けて初めての共同作業だもんな。それがケーキカットじゃないのが残念だけどさ。
Jessica laughed embarrassedly. She looked even more relaxed than she had on stage at the school festival.
なら僕たちはケーキ以外のものを切断しましょう。いちいちカノン君が言うことはかっこつけすぎなんだよ。だがそれがいい。
Aww. That's cute. The massive bodies I rushed at them, trying to deny their relationship and their very existence, had two choices. Be sliced or be struck. Each time one of those bodies hit the floor, that the bodies hit the floor, it became proof that the two of them existed in the floor. Ew, 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 ew. Fuck you, George! I hate you, George! I almost said something that would get me banned, but I fucking hate you, George. The ghost's log-sized fist buried itself in George's face. Good for him. Good for you, Goat. This is the middle of a massive, confused battle. George! Keep rolling, 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 rolling. There was no way to dodge an unexpected attack like that. True. I hate you so much, George. I don't want you to talk. I don't want you to think that you look cool. I don't want you to exist. I want your existence to just poof out. Go like... I'm adding to the hate counter. Hold on. Because, like, why are you even talking? Why are you even talking right now? Oh, I'll say what I want. George had indeed been hit with a fist right to the center of his face. Good. However, he didn't bend over backwards. He didn't get stuck in a washing machine. Not even an inch. The ghost started to wonder what he had hit. Oh, he's hitting it. Hadn't he punched a human made of flesh? This is his moment. Ew. It was as though he had slammed his fist into a steel wall and it was... Oh my god. This is so... I can't. And it was his fist that was hurting. However, the goat was too scared to move his fist from George's face. After all, if he did, the expression on that face would probably be too terrifying. Well, that's because George is a psychopath. Hold on, let me go get some more water. I'll be right back. Arigato for waiting. OMG. Man, water's so good. George pressed his hand against that fist. Let's hold hands, Kote-kun. Kote-sama, hold my hand. This Yes, I was an antisocial person. In fact, I was a complete incel and hated women.
もう一つ、とても重要なことを証言する。
George is only grabbing the goat's massive fist in his tiny hand. However, that fist was being crushed as though it had a visor around it. Even though the other hand was tiny. This is so good. Literally a tiny hand. Like, what the hell? I love how Ryukishi's low-key making fun of him. Even though he had a really, really tiny hand. George has really tiny hands. The goat couldn't even move his fist. Why is he proud of that? Congratulations, George. You have no self-confidence. Okay. Okay, getting into fight isn't good. What is he trying to prove here? What? He's trying to... I accepted the fact that someone as pathetic as me would be bullied. Even this is such a pathetic line. No one deserves to be bullied. Well, George does exist, so maybe this is the only exception, but... Oh my god, he thinks he's so cool. We let anyone hit it from the back. Oh my god. Never have I let anyone provoke or challenge anyone who treats someone as pathetic as me. Like a friend. Wow. He's like, I defend my friends. Okay, George, let's look at that. The goat's broken teeth flew through the air. Ouchie. George's furious feet split the heavens. That's so funny. So true. Shannon, you gold-digging whore. I'm just kidding. The goat's filthy finger touched Shannon's back. Ew. What? Finger exploded and boiled away. If it's true and pure, why is it acidically burning things that touch it, huh? Explain that. True that. A blazing red light charred the goat's entire body. Shannon slowly turned around, her face full of rage and contempt. Rawr. Oh my god, what are you? Why are you acting like you're some god? Disappear! An absolute barrier rose up around Shannon, burying the goat's nice tiny hands. Sorry, and now I'm thinking about the tiny hands because of Ryukishi, burning up the goats around her with its flames. Maria! This is so cute. Look at her. Oh, look, she's with her mommy. The tiny hand. With the power of true love and bullshit. Oh, Maria. Maria smiled, showing her teeth, and performed her job without even looking at her hands. Then she tossed the fully loaded rifle straight up into the air. Come and get some? Okay, that was... I got it. That's kind of funny too. That's kind of funny. Come and get some. Come and get some of this. Rosa stood back to back with Maria, caught it without turning around. No, that wasn't all. Maria had passed the gun to her mommy perfectly without looking back. Rosa's head was pointed at the ground as she stroked the frigid trigger with her. She stroked the frigid trigger with... What is this? Why are we seducing the gun right now? Okay, I do. I doubt your love for Maria. Go on and shoot me, fuckface. How does a kid know how to reload a gun? They're rich. Rich people are crazy. The crowd of ghosts, cowed by Rosa's ferocity, didn't get any closer to her.
じゃあ私が否定してあげます。浮気症のあんたはいつだって男のところを遊び歩いてマリアを一人ぼっちにしてました。
マリアの日記にはそんなこと一言も書いてないもん。
あんたが一番知っているでしょうが。ローザはあんたを愛してなんかいない。産んだことさえ後悔してるクソったれな母親じゃないですか。
Erica was peeling at the unfeeling moon, the taste of metal in her mouth. For a moment she didn't realize what was happening. Was that cold feeling on her back the ground? Huh? Why am I lying down? Wasn't the moon full? Why isn't it now? Come to think of it, my teeth hurt. There's something cold and hard there. And she figured it out. She was laying sprawled on the ground with a gun barrel shoved into her mouth, and the thing splitting the moon was the angry king of wolves protecting its child. The gun barrel exploded in her mouth, sharing her medulla oblongata. Why are you telling me the specific part of her brain that's getting blasted? I hate Rosa, but this is her best moment, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Rosa, but there is a possibility that she does have love for Maria, but there's also moments where she doesn't, you know what I mean? Most of her moments are bad, but, you know, even Rosa can sometimes be a not shitty mother. Everyone has those moments. But it was only her after image.
恐ろしい女です。こいつ本当に人間。
Erica had escaped death at the last moment by leaving an after image, found a metallic flash right before her eyes, which had been there before she even reappeared. The fountain pen went right through Erica's eye, crushing it. Of course, that was another after image. This after image stuff is so broken. However, when she escaped and reappeared somewhere else, the heel was already there waiting for her. From the goat's perspective, several after images of Erica seemed to be appearing at once, all of which were pierced by Rosa at the same time.
次に本気で殴るか。
ママは強いんだよ。
Yeah, Mama's got the pent-up rage of no other. Dun 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 dun. And so Erica couldn't reappear anymore. At the very least, not with Rosa's range of attack. Erica put a lot of distance between her and Rosa, reappearing in midair. Erica's animal instincts made her turn her head slightly to the side just in time. Where her head used to be, there was an odd shower of sparks. It wasn't magic. It was a real physical phenomenon caused by lead smashing against lead. To think that two bullets shot from different angles could have flown with impossible precision at where her head once was, so that both of them hit and bounced off each other like billiard balls.
惜しい。
悪いな。俺たちの趣味は親玉狙い。
私たちクレイはあまりのんびりお空を飛ばない方がいいんじゃないかしら。
These two are terrifying. I would not want to be against these two. Like, fuck no. The two of them spun their rifles in the exact same way and at the exact same time, reloading them in a manner that put old westerns to shame. Then pointed them back up to where Erica was in the sky. Once again, their accurate shots plunged through the forehead of Erica's after image, bouncing off each other like balls with a shower of sparks. This time Erica appeared far behind them. She had to admit she had been forced to escape to a place outside those range of the guns fired by humans. And the light from the moon was blocked. The place she had led to so rapidly exploded, sending chunks of rubbish flying. A massive longsword had been plunged into the ground. It was the laners.
私のお友達じゃありませんか。
She dodged my hair with this bulky, broody longsword with more of a cannonball shaped like a sword and for something cutting with. Even though she dodged it, the blast of air pressure made her eardrums throb. Elena was serious. She seriously intended to smash Erica to bits.
どうしたんです？もう少し可愛い顔ができればいいのに。楽しいですか？人の夢や幻想を打ち壊すの。楽しいに決まってるじゃないですか。それこそが知的蹂躙の醍醐味でしょうが。
あなたは邪悪な人です。しかしそれでも同情できる邪悪だと信じていました。
あんたに同情を頼んだ覚えはあります。
あなたを直ちに切り伏せなかった。それが今日を招いた私の罪です。
Oh, Delana, you're sweet pie. Ooh, pretty. So many good CGs right now. Her hair bristled with rage. The sight this expression on one of her old friends pinned Erica to the
我
spot.
が友よ、痛みさえ分からぬうちに私があなたを解放しましょう。あなたがこれ以上の罪を背負わぬようにです。
The force of anger that welled from Delana's whole body struck Erica. Or rather, the swirl of blasting wind from Delana's massive longsword sent her flying. The cannonball with the blade repeatedly cracked the ground just after Erica leapt away, so it almost looked as though Erica was jumping backwards, smashing the earth beneath her with each jump.
我が友よ、眠れ。安らかにて。
The great longsword split in the air, pulverizing the ground. However, this time Erica was nowhere to be seen. Where did she escape to? Erica had broken the barrier of the Golden Land, landing on a ship whose bow was barely in sight. Practically speaking, she had run away. Fully aware of this, Erica howled, her face contorted with humiliation. Her shoulders heaved with her breathing, and she forgot to even fix her hair. The scythe fell from her hand and landed with a clang to the floor. The sound brought her back to her senses. Oh, let me stretch for a second. How you guys doing? I'm just checking in midstream. You guys doing good?
何をぼさっと見てやがんです。肛門開け。断種概念否定炸裂弾無標準無感染射撃
Aiming procedures. Home to Mole. The warships that had flown into the Golden Land opened their gun ports one after another. Then they all fired at once in a scattered mess of cannonballs. The hundreds of explosive rounds they fired would negate the concept of anything or person they touched, smashing them into little bits and setting them ablaze with flame. The battlefield full of writhing goats became a fiery hell. A cannonball smashed the arbor. The once beautiful garden maze was burned down bit by bit, and the fleeing gold butterflies were wrapped in flames, burning into nothingness like little scraps of paper. This was no longer a battlefield where two sides fought for victory. It was just a confused, hellish pot of boiling water. The golden land was being torn apart. The once beautiful rose garden was filled with explosive craters, and its rose petals were scattered about without pity. They were flying bits of flesh, blood, fangs, jaws, shrieks and half-crazed screams. And even amidst this hellish swirl, the goats and the dead continued to fight. As seen from atop the boats, this was hell without a doubt.
全艦闘病怒りを折らせ
When Erica Erica yelled, the goats on the boats ran around frantically, and one by one massive anchors hanging by chains were thrown from the ship's bows down to the earth below. Those anchors smashed through not only the ground, but the bottom of the Golden Land itself, digging in with their wedge-shaped tips.
Erika! おや、ベアトリーチェさん。何しろこの大混戦。
Do you guys
あなたを
know
見つけられず途方に暮れておりまし
if
た。
there's like a pausing point soon, maybe? Beatrice landed on the front tip of the warship, facing up against Erica, who stood on the bow.
貴様は許さぬ。この場でわらわが討ち取ってくれるわ。
Beato jabbed with her pipe. It transformed to a beautifully intricate golden longsword. I don't remember, to be honest. Okay, no problem.
いいでしょう。望むところです。決着をつけましょう。
Erica threw her scythe up into the air. When it returned to her hand, it became a sword similar to Beato's. The nearby goats crowded around Erica, trying to support her.
手出し無用です。それよりお前たちは怒りの巻き上げを黄金鏡を根元から引き裂いて粉々にしてしまいなさい。
Aye, aye, sir. The goats bowed and rushed to their fight. Several dozen ships had lowered their anchors, digging to the base of the Golden Land. Soon they were going to try and pull them up, tearing the Golden Land into pieces.
来い貴様に我が最後の決闘の名誉
Awooga! Miss Beato. Beato raised her sword, bowed in the ancient fashion, and waited for her opponent. Erica kicked off her shoes violently and slowly walked to the tip of the boat barefoot. Awooga! Awooga. Then, in accordance with her rules, she bowed back. There was a duel in the prow of a ship that pierced the sky. Below, the crowd of goats was being blasted away by the indiscriminate cannonballs, burned up and crushed in the panorama in this world's end. By now, it'd be stupid to wonder whether anyone from the family was still alright. This was truly the end of this world, the end of the Golden Land. Ground to dust filled with flames, the golden rose garden was burning spectacularly, with bits of fire and golden splashes flying about. The ground creaked as fissures ran through it, through to the base of the Golden Land. All the ships started pulling their anchors at once. Crowds of mighty goats used all their monstrous strength to lift them. The anchors that dug into the Golden Land's base spread cracks throughout the entire Golden Land. Not just the ground, but the air itself was filled with cracks, and the shards of gold fell down everywhere. The Golden Land's end was adorned with flames of hell and streaking gold fragments with fiery red and ephemeral gold. Atop the bow's prow, Beato and Erica looked down on this, their swords crossed and sparks flying between them.
すごい光景じゃないですか。ふさわしいと思いません。あんたの物語の終章に。黄金鏡は終わるだ。わらわも果てるだ。だが我らが確かにここにあった事実、誰にも消せぬ。レンジェは至った。未来の魔女は使命と希望を持ちもうじき旅立つだろう。すでに我らは成し遂げている。あいにくだなグルドエリカ。この戦すでにわらわたちが勝利しているわ。
It was a duel between the master of the illusion called the Golden Land and the witch who controlled the truth. The earth split behind them, the Golden Land was torn out, the catbox known as the Golden Land was ripped apart, and the nothingness below peeked out through the cracks. A scrambling crowd of goats fell through the gaps and were swallowed by the sea of nothingness. Beatrice's friends were among them. They helped each other, lifted hands to each other, unwilling to sacrifice anyone to the final moment. So what a romantic and fragile illusion is the end of the world. The ground shattered and sank, fell apart into the ocean of nothingness. No one None could survive, none could be saved. This was destruction. As the Cormorants and arms fell into the sea of nothingness, they looked up one last time and prayed. They prayed that the master of the Golden Land would leave proof that the Golden Land had indeed existed. Have her beaten and looked down at them. They wouldn't have wanted her to.
こここそは無限と黄金の魔女ベアトリーチェ、ここにあり。我らは知れど、それは敗北にあらず。そなたが生き証人となれ。その胸にわらわの切っ先にて我らの証刻みつけてくれようぞ。
さようならベアトリーチェ。このクソったれな無限ゲームもこれでおしまいです。地獄へ落ちろこの幻が。
I think I'm gonna pause here.